Good evening, this is Pat Walker at missionwinners.com. It is a Sunday night. The markets are closed tomorrow on Monday, and I'm making a series of videos here, put a lot of things together, and I'd like to share them with you. And this is to address some of the questions that people have, but also to educate you. And this is just what I do. I'm not going to impose it on you, but it works for me, and I think I'll explain why. And once you see it, you'll say, okay, I can understand the concept. That's important. Anyway, several people have asked about different oscillators. You know, there's MACD, there's RSI, you know, depending on what variable you want to use with relative strength index, okay? By the way, RSI, relative strength index, is not relative strength. It's two different things, and if you want to know what they are, ask me. I will explain it in depth. And there's also stochastics. The normal settings on stochastics are 14 periods and 3. That's what this is showing right on here. A lot of people say, oh, I'll use stochastics for entry and exit. And I'm going to show you why I don't use it. I follow trends. I let the trends tell me what to do. If you go back and look at all my videos, you will not see a bunch of technical indicators on there. I keep it simple and follow the trends. And it works. Now I'm going to say, oh, you have to do that too? No, I'm not going to do that. But it works for me. And I'd like to share it with you. This is Solar Edge. And I've scrunched these charts up, the time frames a little bit. And I'll take this a bit further. Right here, there was a downward sloping trend line, and it lifted through there, right there. And this was on the key list right in here. And you can see the volume confirmed it. Now, some people would say, oh, I can't buy that. The stochastics are too high up there. And we're going to do something, okay? Because that's looking at it in the past, okay? It's called investing through the rearview mirror. Right here, this day, there's a downward sloping trend line. And we say, well, if it takes out around 27.10 a share, that's a buy. The next day, it pushes through there. Stochastics are up here at 80. Most people would say, oh, I can't do that. I can't buy. And what happens? You miss this. You miss this. And that's a shame. There's example number 1. Here's an example number 2. Square. There was a little shelf right here. Now I'm going to go back in time, okay? Just so you get the feel for it. This is what I do. I'm an IBD meetup co-leader, and so I try to explain these things going back so you can see it. So you can look right there and say, all right, if it takes out this little line, and this was a keyless stock too, and you can say, well, the next day it does. And so, oh, stochastics, the fast line's over 80. I can't buy that. I can't do that. That's overbought. That's way too overbought. And it looks like it's a bearish divergence. Look at this. Price is higher and stochastics is lower. That's a bearish divergence. I can't do that. And stochastic stays up there and stays up there and stays up there and stays up there. And guess what? You miss this. In fact, you miss all of this. Look at this. This whole time this thing's making a move, stochastics is moving up. That's why I don't use it. The next stock, Teradyne. Entry right here. Stochastics was low and then it marched up and it stayed up there. But right in here, stochastics here was below the 80 level and lifted off, okay? But if you said, oh, I'm going to use stochastics once it gets above near 80 plus, I'll use that as a sell signal. Well, then you miss this move. That doesn't work. NVIDIA. Look at NVIDIA right in here, marching on up. Look at these look at these levels on stochastics moving up. You missed that. I'm going to show you some more. Goldman Sachs lifted through a spot right here, okay, and marched on up, and stochastics got overbought. Stochastics shot up very quickly, and you would have said, oh, I have to sell it. Why? I follow the 8-period exponential. Here's a perfect example. Boeing was a keyless stock right in here. And it just slowly grinds up. Right in here, there's another shelf. We had it on the key list right here, trending up for another entry. Oh, I can't do that. Stochastics are over 80. I can't do that. That's why I don't have them on my charts. Caterpillar, entry right here. I'm going to go back in time for you, okay? Kind of like they did in Back to the Future, right? That's what we're looking at. The day before it broke out of here, and we bought it right, taking out these tops. But right here on this day, you could say, Patrick, you're an idiot. Stochastics are near 80. That's overbought. We can't do that. By the way, this is just the normal settings here. Okay, 14 and 3. I'm not doing something strange. And it lifts off, and you can say, well, you can't buy that. I mean, stochastics are way up there now. In fact, stochastics at that time, what are they at? The fast line's at 92? Oh, I can't do that. No. Okay, and then you miss this. You miss all of this. and you miss this. You see my point. SOI, stochastics were up there, marching on up. EOG, stochastics were lower on this one and lifted on up. And it's just trending. PXD, look when PXD, okay, this was a keyless stock, folks. Look at this little shelf right here. Clean and simple shelf, kind of vanilla. And you can say, well, gosh, taking out around 160 and a half or so, that's a buy. Right here, it lifts up a little bit. We'll call it, the high right here is 161. Taking out 161, and I think that's where yeah, it is, because there's the line on it, okay, that I drew. Okay, and it takes that out. You say, well, I can't buy that. Stochastics are up too high. And you miss this. It's overbought. I have to sell. That's, again, why I don't look at it. Here we go. Concho, similar situation. Fang. This was really a good one for us, okay? This was a keyless stock, okay? You can see the shelf right here. And you can say, well, taking out these tops right around 112 and a half, that would be good. Oh, the next day it doesn't. Oh, stochastics are moving on up. They're not over 80, but they're really moving up. That's too close to 80. I can't buy that. And guess what happens? You miss it. First Solar lifted through this little channel right here. Stochastics approaching 80. I'm going to stop there, okay? I don't want to beat this too much. The point is this. I follow leading groups and leading stocks, and I take a look for simple chart patterns that when I push through those levels, they do so on a nice pickup in volume, and I let them ride. Amazon, we had Amazon right here, right in here. That was good. We picked it up right here, taking out these tops. The top of this previous bar was 1140. We bought, and I can document it. And this was good for about 60 points. And then it started to fall. We sold a little in strength. We sold the rest off. We made money on the deal. Many people wouldn't do it. Why? Let's go back. Here you go. You can say, you're an idiot to look at this, Pat. Stochastics are over 80. It's overbought. You can't do it. That's dumb. Okay. There you go. That's 60, 70 points right there. Let's see if we've got any other examples in here. No, I think I'm going to stop right there, but you get my point. That's why I look at clean and simple patterns, price and volume. There's a tremendous amount of information in price and volume. Now, that's the way I do it. I am not going to impose it on you, but it helps keep me in and let it work. I want to let things work until they stop and not put a bias in there as far as a stochastics oscillator or MACD is concerned. I hope that helps. That's just one video. We're going to crank out a bunch of these. I know I was doing these later. My son left earlier today, this afternoon, and we're going back to college, and I just wanted to spend some time with him. So I said I'm going to make some videos for you. We're doing that tonight. We're doing it tomorrow. And my goal is this, to speed up that education game plan, improve the game plan, increase profitability. If you got any questions, give me a holler. Again, this is Pat Walker at missionwinners.com. Great talking to you. And all I can say is this, the last point, the N in mission, never say never. And I thank my second oldest son, Ben, because he's the one who thought of that. Dad, you should use this one. Never say never, because it's the mindset. You want to think about mindset? I'll give you a perfect example of mindset. Never say never. Minnesota Vikings. There you go. Regardless of whether you wanted the Saints to win or the Vikings to win, the Vikings said, never say never. We won't quit. And it worked. So thank you all very much. I hope you all have a good, safe night, and you've got more videos coming.